So great to be here with you all. I'm Mira Michelle. Hold on. I'm the founder and director of the Sacred Female Rising Institute, supporting female spirituality and expansion and responsibility of self. Cleanse Site Project, and that is going to land sites that have been traumatized through violence, unconsciousness, etc., and clearing them in a ceremonial way. I'm also the author of the book Sacredize Your Life, and that will be coming out in late summer. It's a book of ceremonies, right from Mother Nature. So we're here today for part 4 of the 5-part free series, The Great Awakening, and this part is entitled The Children. Our Children. I'm so excited. Did I say that yet? I'm so excited to be here to speak about the children. It is also an intense subject. This is going to be about 25 minutes long. And so we'll just dive in there and see what we can co-create together. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for caring. Thank you for your consciousness. So I would ask you now to put your hand on your heart, please. And just be here with me, with us, for our children. And let's dig deep down and locate our own inner children. And as we open this weave, we're calling in our lighthead ancestors, giving respect and reverence to this day of light on Good Friday, honoring the light-headed, strong today, light-headed Master Christ, and Christ consciousness. May we follow this example in our lives. May we feel held. And for all faiths, all religions that assist in assisting us to come into the heart and feel held and guided. This is for the children who are our future ancestors. And as we open up our heart, we say, thank you. Thank you, young ones, for being exactly who you are. Thank you for walking your way. Thank you for spreading your wings. And thank you for keeping your aliveness and your sensitivity sacred. Blessed be. A good friend of mine, a teacher, a mentor, Chief Sonny Reno, Whirlwind Eagle Wolf, who was at one point 8-year Peace Chief of the Sundance Society, a warrior healer, Vietnam War veteran, an incredible elder. He said to me that the tribes of magic on our planet What they consider rich is when their children are laughing and screaming in joy in the nature. Then that community or that society can consider itself rich. That is the value. Are we rich on our planet now? Could we be richer with this value set? Which is saying when our children are natural, innate beings, free and connected, then we are rich. Whoa. How would it look like to have a balance between the value set we have now and that value set? Ooh, yes. I'm seeing a picture. I'm seeing a picture here. I'm taking a moment with that picture. Going slow, actually, right now in these times, is of great value. To feel, think. I am deeply and profoundly concerned for the welfare of our children on this planet. Let's be real. The number of increased, or the numbers of child suicide in the last couple of years is unbelievable. The numbers of missing children on our planet is the numbers of profit made on child pornography and child trafficking is horrendous. It is unreal. And abuse. How do we feel that? It feels so overwhelming to feel this reality. But to really put it here and now, I would like to read something short. Child suicides grew by 15% a year, 15% a year between 2012 and 2017. At emergency rooms in 38 children's hospitals across the nation, the number of suicide and self-injury cases in the first 3 quarters of 2021 was 47% higher among 5 to 8 years old, and 182% higher among 9 to 12 years old than they were for the same period in 2016. And this is according to the statistics compiled by the Children's Hospital Association. I know you feel me. It is staggering. It's almost difficult to feel the feeling because it feels so, as I said before, unreal, unbelievable. And what steps can we take? And so it is first necessary to feel the feeling and have consciousness and awareness before we can take our first step. Because it's so easy just to numb and see those statistics instead of each precious human being, each precious soul. So in this weave that we are a part of, you can think of it as a grand weave of what is taking place. And in this smaller weave right here and now that opens consciousness, we just hold space for that because we have to. And we want to, because we're caring beings. We care greatly. Here it is. Voyate. And I would like to add to that, I would like to add all the children that perhaps have a base, have a loving family, and yet it's so overwhelming for them. Maybe they are not making any intense steps like what we have seen here, felt here. But they are there, and they are suffering. You want to make space for this. Voyate in consciousness. Here and now in this weave. And know that if we created it, we can uncreate it. Oh, yeah. If we take responsibility, some level of responsibility, then we can step forward with that in power and presence. I know it's not easy. Definitely not. Thank you for holding that space here and now with me. And as we hold space here and now for that, let's just take a moment. And focus and feel and send light and send love to all those children that don't have enough to eat, or that have starved or are starving right now. In the last 2 years, the numbers have gone up incredibly. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. It's stuck in my throat. And we are sorry. We feel you. Please forgive us for our unconsciousness. We want to be those humans that care so deeply that we step forward. We start with the feeling, the empathy. I feel a song coming in, and if you just give me a few moments just to sing it. Buka buki buka tatuli, buka buki buka tatuli, buka buki buka tatuli, hey ne no we. Buka buki buka tatuli, buka buki buka tatuli, buka buki buka tatuli, hey ne no we. Which also just came in. They finished this 10,000-year-old song. And the Yaqui people, which I have permission to sing, Chief Sunny Rain. And there's my dog. That says something right there. I want to also hold in the space all the children that are in penitentiaries or prisons. All the young people, because they come from poverty or a situation that did not honor them, and they have a need to act out, and they're locked up for that. We are one earth and one people, and we can no longer keep separating ourselves of good, better, best. We sit at one round table. We like to revere the round table, right? King Arthur. What about our round tables? And our circles, to hold space and to show up. That's what we're doing here and now. And again, I thank you. Thank you. So how do we bring that, dear ones, into this weave of the great awakening? That our children are taking a brunt of this very intense and transformative situation on our planet right now. First thing I'd like to dive into is we have this here now with us. It's not going anywhere, because it is. And I would like to weave in what we can start with as parents, as uncles, as aunties, as caregivers. We can start there. Right there. And I'll tell you what I have discovered as a healer, energy psychology, quantum shamanic sessions, practice. Especially as I work with the inner children of so many clients. And there's a very powerful work. I'm not the only one doing it, thank goodness. And that is to go in and journey and travel back inside the psyche, taking the spirit way to the exact moment where the sensitivity of that child, this inner child work, was suppressed or dropped, not seen, or even other situations which are much more intense, right? And in that moment, when you are in that space, and boy, can you feel it. Boy, can you feel it. It's powerful. Is turned, is shifted. And from that place, the snake bite medicine, what I like to call, and many other shamans call the snake bite medicine. So it is something like snake is transmutation, transformation, right? The snake bites you. If you don't die, then you get to transform it. And it becomes your powerful medicine from that what hurt you. And then you bring that power back up the timeline to the present. Right? That's an inner child work. And so parents, do your inner child work. It's not easy. It's painful. It's terrifying sometimes, especially if you've had trauma. It's your job. If you want to be a mature and conscious human on the planet, let's not talk about you don't have time. You can make time. Because what the wealth and the reward, the result, and from thence you will have a reward in your energy, in your consciousness, in your confidence, in freedom, actually. The real freedom comes from within, freeing up that space. So inner child work, that's what we caregivers, we parents and elders can engage in. And next, I'll stay on this part for a little while longer. What we can realize is that children have a natural impulse to want to please their parents. So if I were to give 3 tips right off the bat, that would be play with your children. Play with them and go into their world. Allow them to invite you into their world with your borders, right? Clear borders, defined borders. And allow them to guide you. It's amazing. It's so creative. It's so rich. It's magic. You know, NASA did a study about a year ago, I think. Could be 2 years ago. And basically the study was like, all children are geniuses until 4. And then that starts to change, right? But read it because it's fascinating. Go and research. NASA study on child development. So their worlds are so rich and so open. Like when, in a way, when we go into trance states, right? And we don't only go into trance states if we're in meditation, if we're in ceremony, if we're having a plant medicine journey or whatsoever. We go into trance states in lucid dreaming. We go into trance states during sexuality. We go into trance states when we are working out. And we go into trance states when we are in nature. And children are in that vibration of magic. So allow them to invite you into their world. And this, you will see how the relationship stays connected. Another that's tip 1. Tip 2 is ask inquiry questions. Many parents, I mean, I feel for parents. We've got so much on our plates. And something happens, the kids are, and you go in there and it's like, what did you do? Did you pour water on your sister's head? You know? Did you kick your brother? Who spilled the, blah, blah, blah. However, this is an accusation-based question. Did you blah, blah, blah? Question mark. And that's automatically communicating to the child. This is who you are. This is who I think that you are. So what's much more open and keeping the relationship connected is simply like coming in and saying, what's going on? Okay, let's calm down. Tell me what's going on. What's happening here? And you have an open door. And you keep asking questions. Okay, so why don't you tell me what happened first? And so on and so forth. What was going on inside of you? What did you feel? Okay, and step by step, receive the information, what is needed to make your decision as a parent, as a caregiver, as an elder. Not power over or authority over. Children have their own inner authority if we don't mess with it too much. Scrap that. Just be present. Be a human who's responsible and who loves. That's number 2. I love that, those inquiry questions. Use them all the time for all the children and inner children that you meet. They're full, planet's full. And number 3, tone up. Our tone speaks the music. Our tone makes the music, right? So when we ask a question, just allow your tone to rise at the end of your sentence. Instead of, how are you doing? How are you doing? Tone up. What's going on here? What's going on here? It's so subtle, right? But children resonate with energy. Energy first. And when our tone is constantly going down, because that's what we learned, coming from our conditioning, maybe we're a bit irritated, impatient. Child will take that personally, like, boom. And then you have 10 years or 15 years of that communication, and then you wonder why your children lack self-confidence. Ooh. And every parent has been through this, and no one is walking on water. We're all in there, working to do the best that we can. So I hope that these 3 tips have honored you. Oh, one more. I just added one. I'm at 24 minutes and I just added a tip. Okay. Redirect. Redirect. Because children go towards energy, right? So if something's interesting, like this wonder right here that I brought to be with us, to be present, rock people, our ancestors. And if some focus is put on this and the child sees it, they want to go, because it's interesting. Look I don't know. But you don't want them to have it, right? So you choose something else that's okay for them to have. And you go. Wow, they go right for it. It's energy. It's what we focus on. The energy. If you hold something and you say you can't have it, you can't have it, you can't have it. Well, boom, they want it more, right? Redirect. It's a great tool, and sometimes it even still works when they get teenagers. I have teenagers, so done with a lot of respect and understanding, of course. So those are now my 4 tips. And let's bring that into, we have some tips, we have some understanding that children um, need to be seen and felt. And they also need presence, for us to be in presence with them. Be present. Everything away and focus here. Just really be here. Whoa, that's medicine for the soul. 15 minutes a day, half an hour a day, presence. Really showing up. Everyone needs that, not only kids, but especially kids, young people. And with this fast-paced world we have constructed, which is honoring us in one way and not honoring us in another, right? And one thing I'm quite concerned about before we flip the script and move on to a broader perspective is the media, what they are experiencing through media. Some of it is fantastic. It's really educational. It's heart-opening. It's mind-opening. It's funny. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful programming. Very intelligent and heart-centered people are producing wonderful content out there, and I really appreciate that. And on the other hand, there's a lot of junk. There's too much junk. And it goes beyond junk. It goes really into the destructive. The amount of violence, grotesque violence, I would say, is very much injuring the sensitivity of children. And I don't want this to sound like, oh, the sensitivity of children. People will say, oh, no, here we go again. No, this is real. This is calculable. When our sensitivity is suppressed, so is our empathy. When our empathy is oppressed and suppressed, so is our love for self. When our love for self is suppressed, then we have haters. And those people go out in the world, and it's not funny. And we're having way too much of that experience on our planet. And sometimes I sit here and I think, why this content? Why this content? I spent some years studying. I have a degree in communication psychology, and from whence I got the degree till now, my mouth is honestly. When I see advertisements for films, horror films that run behind children to kill them, I am disgusted. And I can't imagine that a production company is making money, a lot of money, from that level of content. And I really would like to call them up and say, okay, so of all the billions you made, what are you giving to support children in trauma or children close to suicide? What are you doing? You know, that's my mama bear, my mama lion coming out like, hello. So, look, our kids don't need these devices until they're older, if at all. But it's difficult not to give them to them. In many countries, they have laws that say not under 12. That's in Europe. My children got them both at 14 with guidance. So please, give them their time in nature, their space, their presence, before they get these little boxes of dopamine releases. You're right. Talking about young people, here comes one of mine on his motorcycle. Okay, so thank you for hearing that. So I'm at 29 minutes now, so let's go on another 5 minutes, please. You can click off anytime you feel to, but here's the thing. We have the weave. We have this part which is really heart-wrenching. We have all the children in between, and we have the ones that are being held and seen. Great breadth and width of experience here. And this at this time of the Great Awakening. These children that are being born and have been born, that are like young people or kids right now at this time, they come with special skills, I want to say, and special sensitivities. Right? We are multisensory beings. We are multisensory beings of light, of very high intelligence, and a lot of power. And these young ones are here for that. And so they know what they're doing. Get out of their way. Guide them and get out of the way, because they know why they're here. They have it all there. But if they're not able to reach it, that makes it difficult, and it makes them suffer. I have a little story for you. When I was studying energy medicine, I think it was my early 20s. And my teacher shared a story with us in our group. And one of her clients told her that she has 2 children. One was about 8 months and one was almost 4. And she noticed that the 4-year-old wanted time alone with the baby, right? And kept trying to sneak in and see the baby alone. And she was a bit like, well, what's going on? And so one day she followed him, and he went up to the crib and said, tell me about it. I'm starting to forget. She was blown away. And as a group, or small meditation group, we were also blown away. We had tears. Because it was and is so incredible to realize that we come from this magic. We come from this multi-dimensional realm of consciousness. And we fit all of that into this body-mind to make our way on our journey. And now at this time of the Great Awakening, these young people who are well-equipped and are challenged are here to bring this vibration forward and further. So now we have all of this in our weave. And we're here together in realization. Uyate! And I would ask you to be with me, to join me, to pray for our children. And in these prayers, and in these moments of rich consciousness, maybe there will come the next step. That we can create action with our words and our sentiments for the children, for planet Earth. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing. And I invite you to join us on Sunday. It is Easter Sunday. And I wanted to have this open talking circle on this magic day of ascension, resurrection. Fuyate! And my dear ones, I wanted to add that on Sunday, which is Easter Sunday, the resurrection, which I feel that we are experiencing right now on planet Earth, And it also is the opening, the beginning of spring that our ancestors further back celebrated, right, all around this time. I feel it is important to honor all faiths because we are all going the same direction, actually, with these holy words, ceremonies, and expressions, devotion, and feeling and meaning that are carried within. So on Easter Sunday, on the opening days of spring that have been honored by our ancestors, back, and still are actually, we're having an open talking circle about the children for 1 hour, 7:30 p.m. CET, 10:30 a.m. PST. You are so welcome to join us, and let's take this vibration even higher, this caring even broader, and give those children space, permission, and magic to shine their lights. Blessed be